guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 32nd week pregnancy update, and I just cannot believe that I am almost there. Like, I say this every single update, but seriously, like, now that it's counting down to the due date, like, I'm starting to feel super anxious, and I don't know if it's like a good anxious or a bad anxious. I think it's a little bit of both. But in this update, I'm gonna be updating you on like facts about the baby and like how your body changes. And I'm also gonna be talking about my birth plan because there's something that I read about, which I didn't know about beforehand. Apparently it's like something new that people have been doing, and I think I'm gonna consider doing it depending on how I feel about it. I'm gonna talk about it more later on, but basically, for the baby is the size of a cantaloupe now, and it definitely feels like it. My stomach feels really, really heavy and just like hard, like just a rock, basically. Also, the baby's organs are fully developed, and the chance of survival if he were born this early is great. The only thing that isn't fully developed yet are the lungs, but the baby's lungs do start to breathe in amniotic fluid to help them practice for when they are born, so that's pretty cool. And also the skin is now opaque instead of transparent, so up until now basically you could see like all of your baby's veins, and also all of the hair that was on the baby is basically fully shed off, so that's really cool. So it's definitely more baby-like. I'll definitely insert some pictures. I have this really awesome app, and it basically shows me like what the baby looks like week by week, and it's awesome. You guys should totally download it. It's really cool. So by now your baby should also be head down, and the reason for this is your uterus is pear-shaped, so it's actually easier for the baby to fit head down. And now you should be feeling like more flutters instead of rolls, which is definitely true. I feel a lot of flutters like right up here. She thinks that his arms are here, so I definitely, like, there's always like, I'm gonna sit up a little. There's always like poking out right here, like on my side, so she thinks his arm is right here. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. But he is head down. He's been head down for a while, but I feel like hand movements down here, like a lot of flutters. It feels really weird. And I also feel them up top more too. Definitely less rolls, thank God, because they were not the most delightful thing to feel, honestly. They were a little bit painful. I don't know, it just wasn't really comfortable for me this pregnancy with that, but I'm not gonna go into that because I've talked about it so much in all my other updates about how uncomfortable I feel. So I also had an ultrasound this week, and he's so chunky. He looks just like Landon. I'm gonna insert photos. I'll insert one of this baby, and then I'll insert one of Landon. But he's so chunky, and I think their ultrasounds look a lot alike. Now, the one that I'm showing you guys of Landon, he is like 36 weeks in that ultrasound, and this baby's obviously 32 weeks, so he's not as chunky as Landon, but I think they look so similar. And maybe you guys, if you've seen 3D ultrasounds, like, you think all babies look the same, but I think they look a lot alike, and I'm really, really, really hoping that this baby has hair. So that's like something that I just keep envisioning, because I don't know, I feel like it just gives them such a personality, like when they have hair. I feel like a lot of babies are bald, but Landon literally came out with like a full head of hair, and he just had the most beautiful color, so I'm really hoping that he does as well. But anyway, he is head down, she said, and also I can't remember how much he weighed. I'll put it on here, but he's in like the 20th percentile for weight gain, but I'm pretty sure he'll be around 8 pounds just like Landon was, so pray for me. It was a really short appointment. She just said everything was fine. She measured me, and I'm now actually measuring at 32 weeks. Last time I had an appointment, I think it was at 30 weeks. I can't remember, honestly. Like, my brain is just complete mush at this point. But I was measuring a week behind, but I'm fully caught up now, and everything looks great. I also passed my glucose test, which I figured I would. So that's basically all that happened during my update. Hormonally, I have felt so much better. Last week was, it was so rough. It was really hard on me. I don't know why. I just felt so out of everything. Like, I was just so like antsy, intense, and I kept having this really like intense fear of baby coming so early. I don't know why. I think it's mainly just because I keep being told that I'm gonna have this baby early just because my pregnancies are close together, and like I'm not prepared. Like I am prepared, but I'm not prepared to where I want to be. I've already had a baby. I know what to expect. I know what I actually need and what's just extra, and I basically have everything that I need. But there still are a few things that I want to get, and I also have to wash all of the clothes. So I was just having a lot of anxiety about that. But I've been having a lot of anxiety more towards the night, like right before I go to sleep. I don't know why my mind always goes to this place, but I start to like freak myself out about like being in labor pain. And I think it's just because at night I'm so uncomfortable, and sometimes I am in pain. I'm just like, I don't know if I can like experience more pain with like than I'm experiencing now, basically. And I just get really scared. And my labor and delivery was really easy. Like I really cannot complain. There were no complications. I had a very short labor. I think I was in labor for like 8 hours. In the first 2 hours, I didn't even actually think I was in labor. I was just like, you're really insane. Like you're not in labor. You're fine. Like it's probably just Braxton Hicks. I was taking my sweet time getting ready to leave. I ended up going to like Chick-fil-A. Don't ask me why. But basically, it just like, I don't even know. I get really bad anxiety when I'm in pain or when like I don't know what's happening. And I ended up having a lot of anxiety during my labor. Like as I was pushing, so like active labor, I started to have a lot of anxiety. And that is just, it's just a horrible feeling, honestly. Like it just works me up a lot. And I'm just nervous for that. I'm also nervous to get an epidural again. And my epidural didn't really hurt the first time either, but I did jump. And it was just like a natural reaction. Like my body kind of just did it. I tried my hardest to sit still, but I just like jumped anyway. So I'm just nervous for that again. And every experience is different. And if my labor was really easy the first time, you know, I can't imagine what it would feel like if it were worse or longer or just not really going the way I expected it to go, because for the most part, everything that happened during my labor is what I pictured happening. So I'm just a little bit nervous, honestly, and postpartum for me was really, really hard. It was extremely painful. The healing process was just so hard for me, and now that I also have a 1-year-old who is constantly tugging on me and jumping on me, like I'm just really scared of like how I'm physically going to feel, because I know it affects me mentally and emotionally. So I'm just trying really hard to keep like a positive mindset through all of this, because I did experience postpartum depression, which I was in extreme denial about for a really long time. And they say if you have it the first time, you know, you're really likely to have it again. And I don't really do well under stress, so I've just been talking to Kevin a lot and like, you know, talking about just really like, you know, being there for each other, and, you know, we're gonna have to really be on our A game with 2 babies. So I'm just glad I have his support and him as a backbone, because we are in for a wild, wild ride, and I'm so excited, but yet I'm also nervous. I'm also a little bit anxious about what it's gonna be like for Landon, just because I'm so nervous about, you know, not neglecting him, but making him feel like he isn't top priority, because he won't be top priority once there's a new baby here. But that is where the help of Kevin comes in. But Landon's totally in a mama phase right now. It used to be dad, and now it's mom. So I'm hoping now that he's getting older, he will be able to connect more with Kevin, like going to the park and playing outside and everything like that while I'm home with baby. So I'm just really hoping everything goes smoothly, more smoothly than last time, honestly. If anything, I hope I am as lucky as I was last time, but I feel like baby's definitely gonna come early. I don't know why, I just have this feeling, and I also feel like my labor is gonna be really fast. So it's a lot. So for my birth plan, I did delayed cord clamping last time. As a first-time mom, you're just like thrown so much information, and it can be really confusing and overwhelming, and people and all sorts of companies try to like tell you that you need all of these things when in reality you really don't. So I just did an insane amount of research just to like calm myself. But I read a lot about delayed cord I read a lot about delayed cord clamping, and I really liked everything that I had read. So I'm just gonna put it up on the screen for you guys so you can read, just because I don't really know how to like describe it. I can't even really remember, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, but I definitely wanna do it again. And also, this is the new thing that I was talking about. They say that you're not supposed to I can't even speak. They say you're not supposed to wipe off the vernix on your baby. It's like better for them to have it on their skin. It's like a natural moisturizer, I think they said. And all nurses and doctors will immediately clean off the baby and wipe it all off. But with Landon, I don't even think he had any on him. He was honestly pretty clean when he came out. So I don't know what this baby will have on him, but if he does, I'm considering just leaving it on. Then again, I don't know if it'll gross me out. To be completely honest, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but if it's good for the baby's skin, then I'm most likely going to do it. I also always think about like how rough the nurses like wipe off babies. Like if you've seen like, I don't know, birth vlogs or like labor and delivery videos, anything like that, they're so like rough with the baby, and I hate that. I just don't want anyone touching my baby once he's born. That was just one thing that I hated so much, was that, you know, sometimes they take them away right away to weigh them and whatever. So the next thing that I have on my birth plan is to do skin to skin immediately, which I did before, and they didn't take Landon away for a while. I had him on me for a good amount of time. I don't know, it's something that's important to me, not just like doing skin to skin, but like having him with me and not taken away. It's just really important for me to like have my baby with me and not have him taken away. And a big thing that I really, really want on there is absolutely no forceps, no vacuum, whatever it is that they use, unless extremely necessary, to the point where like they're losing his heartbeat or like there's problems. But if it's something where it's just taking a while for him to come out, like that's just not gonna happen. I've heard a lot of bad things about it, like causing damage in the brain and all that bad stuff. So I really just want to try and avoid all of that. So far, that's basically everything that's on my birth plan. You know, you can't really go too much into detail because you never know like what's going to happen. You might end up planning for a vaginal delivery and then having a C-section and everything is out the window. I don't really care to like put down if I'm breastfeeding or bottle feeding on there. I don't want to put if I'm listening to music or how I want the lights or anything like that, because I feel like in the moment, you know, anything can change. You know, when you're in pain, you might want to do something differently than you thought you would want to do when you weren't in labor. So I'm not really sure. I'm also kind of considering being in the tub for a good amount of time. I heard that really eases pain, and before I spent the entire time in my hospital bed and I was so uncomfortable, like insanely uncomfortable, until I got my epidural, and then I was like literally in heaven. It was amazing. You know, a lot of people are weird about epidurals. Not me. Please numb everything because it hurts horribly. So an epidural is also on my birth plan. So other than that, you guys, thank you if you have gotten this far and watching me ramble about everything that has happened to me so far. Don't forget to subscribe down below. I do post weekly pregnancy updates as well. Please bear with me. I also post lifestyle videos and vlogs of my life. And give this video a like down below. It lets me know if you guys like watching these, which you guys do, I'm guessing, because these are the most watched videos on my channel. But anyway, guys, thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.